guys, Isabella here and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, we're going to be diving into some Pruvit. So you guys have watched several of my Pruvit videos before, or if not, I would definitely recommend going and checking them out. But today we're going to be diving into Pruvit again, circling back. So for today's video, we are actually going to be specifically though reacting to a Jessie Lee Boss Lee training. And the title is Make Sure You Save This If You Find It Valuable. It's a Q&A full of quick tips I'm certain you will find useful in your business. So again, I would like to remind you guys, if you are new here, Jessie Lee does market herself off as somebody who is kind of a business coach, network marketing coach, and so I think it's a great topic not only for Pruvit, but also just in general for network marketing. So before you hop into today's video though, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button down below. And now without further ado, let's get into it. Let's go.
Following her yet, go on Instagram, check her podcast. I've personally been listening to her podcast myself since January. And you know what? Now I'm sitting on this call and it's very surreal to have you and to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
And she's not only, extremely successful in network marketing, but she's an investor. She has multiple businesses around the world. And yeah, she's an inspiration to all of us. So yeah, Jessie Lee, maybe could you share how you got involved into network marketing? Just your short story, how everything started.
Yeah, sure. So I'm excited to be on here. I see some names that I recognize, so it's good to see you guys. Hi. Surreal for me too. I love doing this. I love getting to know, just people in the profession. Really, I think one of my big goals in life, and then I'll tell you my story really quickly, is really to kind of bridge the gap, not only between different companies, right? Like different leaders, realizing you can all be friends, and then also the entrepreneur world. So that's really kind of my big mission right now, is showing people this is not only a legitimate business model, but I truly believe it is the best business model that allows you to...
Okay, so real quickly, I would like to pause this because I know a lot of you guys have had some theories, and comment down below what your guys' theories are with this as well, if you're familiar with Boss Lee. Some of us have actually talked about how we think that Boss Lee someday, if the company Pruvit, which he is currently a part of, is not very sustainable, which many times most MLMs honestly aren't very sustainable. That's why most top leaders hop from MLM to MLM. Jessie is going to essentially end up becoming a network marketing trainer or like coach pretty much, where that's her main source of income, kind of turning in like a no shame sales game concept, another network marketing page. But that's kind of what I'm thinking as well, and especially with the way that she worded things in the beginning. I feel like that's what she's trying to like start putting as like building a reputation up. So I have a feeling that if Pruvit doesn't go too well, she might join another MLM, but at the end of the day, I think she is going to end up becoming a dedicated hardcore network marketing coach. But yes, anyways, let's keep going.
Become, like Agna was saying, the successful entrepreneur or the successful investor or any of these things. And so I'm excited to be here. And I got started in this, I started in direct sales actually. So I was one of those people that would like knock on doors and ask if I could present products to you and your friends and all that fun stuff. For 4.5 years, I did that 11 and a half years ago, I guess. I'm getting older as time goes on. And then I found the network marketing profession in 2015. So this is closing in on my 7th year of network marketing, I guess like almost 8, right? Is that the right math? I don't know, guys. I'm good at a lot of stuff and math isn't one of them, okay? Anyway, so that was almost 8 years ago, and my whole story all started though just needing $300 a month to pay rent. So that was my big goal. And I say that to you because I know some of you on here have smaller goals than being a multimillionaire or whatever your goal is, investor or, billionaire or whatever your goal is, top rank, whatever you want to call it. But me too. Okay, so it's okay to have those smaller goals. And I know sometimes people might be like, Stephanie, like, you're not dreaming big enough. But I think people don't understand when you're coming from a place where everything is struggle and everything is hard and, there's too much month and not enough money. It's a little difficult to think outside of just maybe that smaller box to begin with the $300, the $500 or euros or whatever, and then it goes from that and then it expands into 1,000 and 1,000 into 2,000 and 2,000 and 10,000 and whatever, you get the point. But that really is, I guess, kind of my network marketing story. I've been with the same company now for almost 5 years, been top earner for years and years now. And I don't know, I love what we do. I love this profession, and I'm here to serve in any way. So I hope I answer that fast. I'm a rambler and I know we're on a time crunch, so I'm like, all right, I gotta be fast and efficient.
I know. To be honest, guys, can always listen to your podcast as well. She will give you a bit more detailed story, how she started and everything else. So,
Yeah.
and I appreciate your time because we don't really have much time. So,
Yeah.
and maybe you could just share, how long did it take you to get, your business going and just to create momentum? And what did you do to have that momentum?
Okay, I'm obsessed with the chat right now. Keela's like, I can't believe you're here. Ah! You guys are so cute. All right, so here's the fact of the matter. If I could tell you guys anything, okay, because I want you to get a lot of training moments out of this that you can write down. You'll win if you don't quit. Okay? And winning...
I don't like this argument, but this is something I've seen so many people run into. I've seen a lot of top leaders speak this when it's convenient for them. So for example, when we have people leaving Monet and going to iGenius, they were the same individuals that preached, oh, well, you can only do bad at this or lose if you just quit. However, they're the same people then that's pretty much are saying how Monet was not a sustainable business and they moved and they quit Monet. So, which is it? Like, it's just very ridiculous to me because at the end of the day, they didn't succeed then. They were losing money. I hate the argument of, oh, you'll never lose money. Like, you'll never fail if you don't quit. Failing can be defined by losing a lot of money, which most MLMs that we can see have an income disclosure statement that shows that most people don't make any money at all. So
it looks different for everybody, but you will win if you do not quit. And I don't know, I don't know if it's just from having a really bad childhood or what, but I just had this vision that I couldn't give up because people wanted me to quit, Does anyone feel like that? I don't know, you can put a yes in the chat or raise your hand or something. Like, you feel like people want you to lose. And I just want to, it feels like that at the beginning for a while, where you're like, everyone is against me. Like, why does everybody want me to fail? Why won't my friends buy from me? Why won't my parents look at what I'm doing? Why am I the weirdo, And
I like how she's bringing this up because that is something that happens most of the time with people who join an MLM, because I've actually people that have commented this before where you guys are like, oh, I didn't even know that this MLM existed. I just thought like my sister-in-law was just super duper really obsessed with the product. Nonetheless, even if you weren't aware of the company, you still were annoyed with it. And that's what happens with a lot of people is they join and people are uncomfortable because at the end of the day, it does get very pushy and slimy and scammy, or people are aware of the reality of the MLM that you have joined in, let's say, and they don't want to have anything to do with it.
It does feel like that for a while, and I just promise you, you will win and you will get the last laugh if you keep going, okay? Perseverance is the name of the game, and so,
If you keep going, you will have the last laugh and you will win. For this industry, that is a very, incorrect statement. I feel like that's very delusional to be able to say, you will win, you will win. I don't know how many times I've had conversations with people who have literally been in the industry for years and still had nothing. And again, it's very easy for somebody to speak on this because she's at a position now where she has very adamant downlines and followers, and they are going to move with her if she goes to a different MLMs. She can be very set with money no matter what because of the things that she has had built up, whereas most people don't have that. So this is such a stupid thing to be like, yeah, you're gonna have success, and like that's also for anything in general. That's not even just about MLMs. I can't even sit there and say, oh, if you don't give up on that business, then like you won't ever fail. That's a very delusional statement for me to make because I don't know what the economy is gonna look like. I don't know how your marketing is. I don't know what you're selling in product. Like, you can't even say that about any industry. Let's just get that out of the way.
And this is gonna sound strange to some of you, but one of the most lucky things that ever happened to me in my career is when I was 22 years old and I was working in a pathology lab as a research assistant, and that's when I needed that $300 a month. I was renting a room in a basement. I got fired from my full-time job. Now, Luis went, okay, so I'm sure some of you just had a reaction like, wait a minute, did she say that was one of the best things that happened to her? Yes. Okay? It was one of the best things that happened to me because I don't think that I would have ever truly gone all in on this business if it weren't for it becoming the only option. Does that make sense? Like, how many of you, as much as you want this business to work, you know in the back of your mind you have a plan B? Like, you can tell your upline, your sponsor, or whatever, like, no, I'm all in. Yay, Juice Plus. Woo, 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 woo. Okay? Like, we do this, right? And then, you know what I'm talking about, right? Where it's like, but I have a good salary. But I have retirement. but I have whatever.
A lot of thoughts. All right, let's dive into this one. First of all, I'm going to entertain our argument for a hot second, okay? I'm going to entertain the concept of when you think that the MLM is the only thing possible and that you have nothing else, you are going to go after way more than what most people might. Pretty much alluding that you're comfortable, that's why you're not successful. But let's pretend, okay? And we're going to run with this argument by something that actually has legitimately happened. The pandemic. The pandemic was an example of this, where we had massive amounts of people losing their jobs. I was one of them. I lost my job as a waitress, and I was pretty much told, hey, you're gonna have to start looking for other jobs. It was literally terrifying because I had nothing. It made it to where other people who were in those exact same positions, for example, they were desperate as well. And so what happened is we had people who had nothing, had no other backup plan, had no job, had no interviews coming in because everything was shut down. They tried to put everything in and all their time and effort to invest in themselves. And what happened? There were literally FTC letters getting sent to these MLMs because people were misleading people so heavily, marketing this off as an at-home opportunity. And what happened under this? We had thousands and thousands of people that jumped into these companies and lost way more than what they should have been losing, pretty much in general. And it just blows my mind because, okay, we'll entertain your argument there, Bossly, but we have a replica situation happening where we had thousands of people joining multiple different MLMs, going all in because they had no job and they were told that this is an opportunity. And they busted their ass, and guess what? Guess where they're at? Most of them don't have anything. That's the issue that I have. We have a perfect example of how this concept does not work, and it doesn't mean shit because we had opportunities for people to do good, and we should have seen a jump in all these companies and amount of successful people, long-term income people. We didn't.
But I have whatever, you know? And so I'm really glad that I got terminated or fired or whatever. I got fired from a job, and this became it. There was no Uber. There was no DoorDash. You know, there was no gig economy 11 years ago. So it became a huge, huge blessing. And that shoved me really fast, right? That was a big deal. And another thing that was a really big deal was I put myself, and I still do this, and this will help all of you no matter where you are in your journey and in your business. I put myself in situations that make me uncomfortable. Okay? I'm gonna say it again because it's really important. I put myself in situations that make me really uncomfortable. An example being fired and being like, uh-oh, I have to make money. Sure. But I was also 11 years ago in a really bad relationship. Okay? I don't know if anyone ever been in a bad relationship. You're just like, this sucks. Like, this relationship is no good. All right? Anyone? Just me? No? Okay, all y'all just have all winners. All your partners have always just been the best. Oh, so good for you. I must just not know how to pick them, okay? That's okay, though. That's just a personal problem. But anyway, since all of you guys can't relate to that, I'm still going to tell my story. Thank you. I'm talking to Jordan then. Thank you, Jordan. Jordan is like, yep, right here. Okay. All right, look. I really needed to get out of this relationship, and the problem that I think a lot of people, one of the reasons a lot of people stay in relationships, in my opinion, is because you're splitting the bills. I mean, let's just be honest, you know? Like, there are people in bad relationships that are like, well, I mean, rent.
Honestly, she's not wrong with that in regards to the relationship stuff. I feel like there's many people who feel like they're stuck for more reasons than one financially, and they don't feel like that they can get out. And that is a very sad reality, and it's a very sad situation. But you know what bothers me a lot is the fact that we are marketing this concept off to people who are broke, people who have nothing, people who are in bad relationships. Pardon me? That's the last thing I would have needed if I was in a bad relationship. How mentally drained you are when you're in a bad relationship, and when you get out, it takes such a long recovery. This is not what you would need. Oh my God, I can't even imagine going through mentally trying to get out of my previous relationship and then this shit.
Is $2,000 a month, and you know, it's only $1,000 if I'm splitting the rent, right? Or like you're splitting the car payment, or you're splitting, you know, the food. I don't know. Actually, food was always expensive. I date men, and men eat a lot more than I do. So I was always like, damn, you eat too much. You got my grocery bill going up. That's anyway. I'm just like digressing. But I mean, like, I know some of you are in these relationships because you're like, I'm saving money. And so I put myself in a situation that really exploded my business as well. This is about a year in business. I'm doing okay. It had been full-time, obviously. Like I told you, I got fired from a job, so this became my full-time thing. And I'm like, I gotta get out of this relationship. And not only did I get out of the relationship, but I decided to rent a luxury condo that was at the time $1,650 a month, which was a lot more than the $400 a month that I was splitting with him, because we had like a little tiny apartment that was $800. Okay, so like to paint the picture. Okay, just like paint the picture of the drama. Now, I don't know how it is where you live, but you can put this in the chat. When you rent somewhere, what do you have to pay up front? Because where I'm from, it was first month's rent, last month's rent, and a security deposit. Anyone else? First month's rent. So it's like, yeah, 3 months. Okay. So it's like $6,000. Well, mind you, at the time in my business, I'm making like $1,200 a month. So I'm like, this math ain't mathin'. And I got so uncomfortable when I signed that lease. They said, okay, I don't know how long they gave me. Let's call it a week. I don't remember. Okay. This is a long time ago. But they said, you got a week to...
This correctly. She signed a lease that was around like 1,600, 500, I think, if I heard that correctly. She was only making 1,200 a month from...
To get the $6,000, or what, we're just under 6,000. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. And the crazy thing is, if you guys want your business to explode, it's the amount of action that you put in. Because you can...
So, okay, what I'm getting from this, again, you guys can have your own inferences here, but what I'm getting is, hi, my name's Jessie, and I put myself in a position where my rent is insanely expensive. That means that I put myself in an uncomfortable position where it forced me to work so hard that I got there. I don't encourage that. I don't encourage that at all. Now, don't do that. Something can happen. Like, again, what if you get sick and then you can't work for a week? Like, dude, literally, what was it? Like last week for me, I was like, for the week and a half before, I was so depressed and miserable for a hot second. I'm fine now, but like I was so depressed. I was like, I can't mentally do anything. I'm eating, yay, but like I wasn't doing anything else at all. Imagine having a time where you're miserable and you're depressed or you're sick or something happens and you can't really work. Like, I would never recommend someone to live outside of their means or put themselves in that type of an uncomfortable situation. Putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation would be like public speaking. That can help you. This, no.
Because you can I don't want to say you can fix the lack of skill set with action, but the way you develop the skill set is through the action. Am I making sense to everybody? Like, you're going to be very bad. It's just the way it is. You're going to be bad. But you can put in a ton of action. And all of that action catapulted me. I ended up making over $10,000 that month. I mean, I went full cycle.
Okay, so yeah, she's pretty much saying, hi, I lived without, outside of my means. Because of these actions, I made a fuck ton of money, and then ta-da, everything happened. Bibbidi-bobbidi boom. Like, that doesn't happen for most people. What? Don't encourage people to do that. That's insane. Like, that genuinely is not okay to recommend to anyone. But all I'm saying is that is not something that happens for most people. There are people that are leaving their MLM. They continuously work all the time. I literally was watching, I reacted to a girl, so these two girls that were going to Q Sciences from Monet, they worked so much they were miserably sick all of the time. They worked more than any normal human should work, and they still weren't making enough money. That should say a lot about the industry.
Oh, okay, I was like, I gotta get out of this relationship, I gotta get in this apartment, I gotta do all this, okay? And it really launched my business. And so now I have to do it in different ways. So now for some of you, I don't know everybody's income levels or anything, okay? But for some of you, it could be you're driving a car and the car works. And so you're justifying yourself, well, Asta, it's okay. The car gets you from point A to point B. It's no problem. But is it really the car you want? Right? Could you be responsible still and get a car that you actually want? Right? Or maybe it is your living situation, or maybe it is a pair of shoes, or maybe it is a trip, or an event, or a mastermind, or whatever.
Why are we encouraging people to join systems that fail majority of people as if it can make them a little bit of money? We're not even talking a lot of money here. We wanted to at least see some sort of progress and good growth that just has no involvement with an actual team. Most people can't even make 50 to $100 from an MLM a year. Not even in a year. Start a small business. Start a part-time job. Find a different side hustle. There are so many things that I think people can do that have nothing to do with this.
Care what you spend your money on, but I have constantly for the last 11 years now put myself in situations where I'm like, whoo, this is making me a little bit uncomfortable. right? Like this is making, I'm spending money that, yes, it's there, but I got a question for you guys, because I feel like you're my people already. I'm really like vibing with.
So you're spending more than what you're making, and you're like, ooh, if I do that, then the MLM fairy's gonna crawl out of my ass, and then I'm just going to suddenly magically, because I work 24/8, and I'll make as much money as I need. No, if anyone recommends you to live outside of your means because it pushes you out of your comfort zone, stay the fuck away.
You grow up poor, or like maybe not necessarily poor, but like you couldn't have everything. Yeah, a lot of you. Okay. I knew we got along. I knew we did. Okay. So my question then is, in that situation then, when you've made money now in your network marketing business, are any of you guilty of looking at the money in your bank account and doing two things? Number one, looking at it like, wow, I like keeping it there because I get to keep looking at it. Like, there are dollars in this account. Like, wow. Like, you don't want to spend it because you're like, look at there's a comma. I got a comma, right? Anyone? No? Yeah? Because I'm telling you, I was guilty of this. Okay? And then the second thing on that is, how many of you then are so guilty about doing things that make you uncomfortable because in a way you feel like, I think it's too good to be true. Like, I don't want to pay for that event or that mastermind or...
What? Pardon? I don't even know what to say. I'm just kind of like, what the hell? Smile and wave, everyone, because what the fuck?
Or that car or that house or that apartment or those shoes or that... I'm just like naming stuff, right? Because what if I buy that MacBook for my business and I lose everything?
Yeah, Jessie, you want to know? You're talking to people who are poor because that's how they live, and it sucks and it's sad. And again, there is no hate on that. Please know that. That is, I don't wish that on any human being. People that struggle with money are fucking scared of risking it, and they don't have the privilege of risking it because, yeah, what if something happens? What if something breaks? Like, does Jessie not mentally understand the cost of healthcare? All of the stuff, like for me, for example, y'all, I drop $530 a month for just me. For my health insurance. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure some of you that don't live in the US choked on that one. I can handle that. Not everyone can. Not everyone can do that. And that is sad. That is heartbreaking. So if someone, let's say, were to make some money from network marketing, they're scared of risking it or buying a little extra something because what if it falls through? Because yeah, that makes absolute sense. Would you rather keep that money for, oh shit, gas prices just went up? Or would you rather spend it on something and invest it on a business that may or may not take off? Most people are going to go with the safer option, try and take care of the things and make sure that they're okay. I'm sorry, but why are you recommending people who are struggling financially? And yes, most of the time these MLMs will all underneath them. Why are you recommending them to go spend money on other shit? That is not okay. There's a difference between treating yourself if you want to. Please do that. What I'm saying is, don't listen to advice where she's essentially trying to encourage you to not consider risks and consider how you live. Like, I'm sorry, but this person is so privileged. For someone who came from nothing, you would at least remember on your background that people have expenses and have so much more to fear and don't have as much to risk. She can risk a shit ton and it's fine. Most people can't risk missing a day of work for being sick. Most people can't risk this kind of stuff. And that's why this is such a detrimental problem. This is why this is such a serious topic, because we have people that are marketing off MLM business opportunities, and then they're marketing off to, again, people that are financially struggling, and that $100 starter kit just is money down the drain, and they lose a lot and they feel bad, they feel guilty for spending that money, and it's a whole horrible cycle. Like, I think y'all can tell I get very, very mad when I see people getting preyed on. And I'm so damn tired of these leaders just be like, it's fine, it's money, like, it'll come back to you. Get fucked.
But what if I told you that by doing that, which a lot of us, I know you do that, the people that did not come from money, you're relating to me very deeply right now. It's a money mindset that is holding you back from everything.
It's a money mindset that's holding you back from being good in your business because you don't want to drop fucking money on other stuff and you would rather keep it there on the just in case because, you know, you're struggling financially. Oh my God. Like, at least I thought this started out decently. This has taken a horrible turn.
I don't have time to train you on this right now, but drop them, like work on your money mindset and drop the scarcity. And I know it's hard to do, and I know it's scary.
What in the fuck? What reality do we live in? Literally, Jessie, tell me. How do you expect people to drop scarcity mindset when they already don't have a lot to begin with and they're trying to survive? People can't afford to fuck around. Concept? Are we not getting it? Like, I can't, like, I'm sorry, but this is such a disrespectful privilege mentality to sit there and be like, drop your scarcity mindset. This is why you're not doing good enough. I don't care if she says it in a nice tone. The concept and the message is not nice, and it's very disrespectful, and it's very, very privileged, and it's not okay.
But investing in yourself and investing in your business and getting a little bit uncomfortable, not irresponsible, but a little bit uncomfortable, it will help you scale your business. Okay? Who needed to hear?
No. I wouldn't even recommend that to someone who wants to start content creation. No, you don't need to do that. Yes, I get investing in yourself, but do that later when you're a little bit more comfortable. Like, I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous. You shouldn't be doing this and pushing this mentality. Oh, it's investing in yourself. Buying a MacBook to run your MLM, that's not investing in yourself for an MLM. Not at all. That's not how this works at all. And again, ironic coming from an individual who's also said, you can work through your phone. This is horrible advice. I'm not happy.
I'm like, oh my God, I didn't hear that. Okay, good. All right, what's the next question? I don't know. Did I even answer the first question, second question? I don't know. But I don't know, it went pretty fast, and then it exploded when I really started joining masterminds and going to big events and stuff like that, is really what I was trying to say. I had to get uncomfortable to make
yeah. It's a very good top tip. I think everyone needs to hear it, because so many people, we may be, holding ourselves back because we are afraid if we will lose it. Yeah. Another question I have for you is, because I know you're very good at recruitment, so maybe if you could share how many people you recruit usually, and how do you recruit? What kind of strategy do you use for it? What's the best way to recruit?
Sure. So a couple things. I've recruited over 10,000 people in the last 11 years, so that's pretty cool. That's like a lot of humans, that's like a whole lot of humans. But I love, so I'm a very, very consistent recruiter. I love it. Immediately, Karen's like, wait, whoa, how? She asked how. I'll get to this. Okay, there's a couple things that you should just write down. I'm a top recruiter for many reasons. Number one is I've led with value. Okay? Like, ignore the 10,000 people and just start with one. Just start with one. You won't recruit anybody if there's no value, right? You won't recruit anybody if you're inconsistent. You won't recruit anybody if you're not showing the vision of where you're going to go in your life and in this business. Now, some of you go, well, why would they join me when they could join you? No. You missed what I just said. The vision of where you're going to go in this business, and then showing it consistently. Because leaders want to join people who are consistent. You understand? So I know you don't feel like posting on social media, and I know you don't feel like going to events, and I know you don't feel like getting on trainings, and I know even getting on here, you're like, another Zoom. Ugh. But aren't you happy you're here, Like, we get this, I call it Zoom fatigue. You're like, another Zoom. I know, okay? COVID has destroyed Zoom. I'm like, oh God, I gotta get another Zoom. All right, like, I'm proud of those of you with these cameras on over here. Like, Becca's been smiling at me the whole time, and Danielle has. Like, thank you for having your cameras on. The rest of the people hate Zoom. I don't blame them, okay? I can't even blame them anymore, right? Like, I get it. But the consistency of doing things, people watch that. I said at the beginning of this call, there are people who are watching you and they're not supporting you, right? They're doing that because they're used to you quitting. Like, how many of you are guilty of that? You quit at everything you do. Try.
Again, I would like to reiterate something that I've said in a previous video, and I think that this is something that we should talk about more. Quitting is not always a bad thing. Quitting can be very, very good for you and your mental health. Quitting can be quitting a relationship because it is mentally draining you. Quitting could be leaving a job because they're not treating you properly. Quitting a friendship because that friendship is not helping you. It's actually taking you down more. Quitting is not inherently bad, but we've been taught to feel that quitting equals bad. So please don't think that. Again, another toxic perspective that has been pushed in regards to MLMs or life in general. But again, I don't like this argument either, because here's my thought process as well. This could go for absolutely anything, but pushing someone to feel guilty for quitting is making people feel like they have to be stuck in something that's not benefiting them. So pushing people to be stuck in something essentially and not quit because it looks bad or people notice it, no, fuck that. MLM could be literally draining you of money, which most people have experienced. So why would you encourage people to stay in and not quit that? Why would you encourage people to just not quit in general?
Being consistent in it, and see what happens. Here's something though. I talk about the opportunity all the time. I'm constantly letting people know I'm recruiting. Do people even know you have an opportunity? I'm going to tell you right now, the answer is no. For most of you, people probably know you sell product. People probably know you like fruits and vegetables. People probably eat too many packs they think you eat too many packs of the gummies. Why do they taste so good? Like, I don't know about this, right? You know, but anyway, like they know that, but they don't know you have an opportunity. Well, if they don't know you have an opportunity and you're not talking about who you're trying to attract and you're not talking about trying to align with people, how do they know? And then it's simplification. I recruit a lot of people because there's a link in my bio that says join as a promoter, right? And I talk about it all the time. If I'm on live video, I mention it. You know, hey, if you want to do what I do. In my stories, I mention it. Oh, you want to do what I do.
But think about how exhausting that is. Like, realistically, in comparison to any other opportunity or job, an entrepreneur that has created a brand new revolutionary, setting spray. They're not going to sit there and be like, hi, do you want to develop setting sprays? Join my team. No, you don't see someone who's a content creator sit here and be like, do you want to be a content creator? I got news for you. No, it doesn't happen. That would be odd for us to see a doctor saying, hi, become a doctor, and they wouldn't shut up about it during their everyday life. That's a little weird. You know what I mean? This is not normal behavior in any other world or anything. And if that's what you have to push in order to be successful, that is a problem. You should be able to focus on strictly sales and be wildly successful if you are able to have good marketing skills. And again, Jessie, if you're capable of reaching a lot of people and vocalizing things, you should be able to essentially rely on selling products only and be able to do that well without needing a team. But we all know that that doesn't happen.
Now, how do you get good people? That would probably be the next question. Again, consistency, they're following your lead, but also just tell people what you're looking for. You're attracting what you are, okay? Or what you're becoming. Yeah, I like all the writing. There's a lot of writing going on in here. Good job. Good job. I only see girls. Good girls. Okay, I'm sure there's boys on here, but I only see girls. All right, so, right? Like, you're attracting what you are. I say all the time, constantly, I say I attract people who want to make 6 and 7 figures a year. I'm attracting people who want to make 6 and 7 figures a year. Now, does everybody I recruit make 6 or 7 figures a year? What do you think the answer to that is? No, I'm not here to lie to you. Okay, of course not. But I'm constantly telling people what I'm trying to attract. And then it starts to become, well, this is very Bob Proctor, but it's not about the $1 million a year, you understand? It's about who you have to become to make $1 million a year. If you want to make 6 figures a year, it's who do you have to become, Kelsey Ann, to make 6 figures a year. You want to make $1 billion a year, who do you have to become to make $1 billion a year? Understand? It's the process of all of that. Your recruiting will increase by doing what it takes to be a recruiter. Does that make sense? I know that makes sense, right? Start copying the right cats, you know? Like, who are you looking up to in the profession, but they're not even getting the results you want? If you want to recruit more, follow the top recruiters. They might not even have the biggest checks yet. But if the activity you're trying to follow is recruiting.
Let me get this straight. If you want to do well, you need to follow the top recruiters. Did I hear that right, Jessie? Not the top salespeople?
Recruiting, then find out who the top recruiters are and watch what they do. If you want to sell more, follow the top sellers.
All right, she said it. All right, never mind. I will give her the benefit of the doubt. She finally mentioned sales. Okay.
The top sellers and do what they do. If you want to be a top earner, follow the top earners and see what they do. Right? I know, like, and it sounds so simple, but I think human nature is to just overcomplicate everything. So we're like, I'm so busy working. Right? But what are you working on? You all have the capability of attracting all the people you want to attract. You can all recruit. I'm just telling you. It's just a mindset. And it's just focusing on the right things and then doing the activities the other people who are also doing those activities are doing. The same scripts. The same, what questions can I answer for you? And only answering those questions. The same consistency. It's this. Uh-oh. That's another call I'm supposed to be on. Same consistency. That's what it is. And that's how I recruited. I've recruited so many people. People look at me and they go, well, I don't know if I like her, but I respect her. And then they end up liking me, you know, so it kind of works out altogether. So it's okay. But that's the answer for sure. That's how you're going to recruit more people. I hope that's useful. Do you want to do one more question? I'll be late to, my assistant can send a message. It's okay. We can do one more question if you want to.
Yeah, just one last one because we only have like 4 minutes. Like I can send a Zoom as well, and I don't need to run another call. But you know, you have a massive organization, and who we should give our time? Like, what you're focusing on the most? You know, which people are giving your time the most?
Sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a really easy answer. Okay, if you want to scale your business and you're trying to figure out who you should work with the people who want to be worked with. Very simple answer. Okay? And the problem is most people in network marketing, you fall in love with people's potential. I love you, I tell you. Okay? You have someone join, you're like, oh my God, it's a big influencer. J-Lo joined my team. Okay, but J-Lo might be lazy, you know? And you're like falling in love with her potential, so all you're doing is working with her. Meanwhile, you've got Monica over there who's like, hello, can I have an assignment, please? I would like to work the business. Okay? And then Monica quits and J-Lo quits. J-Lo quit because she was lazy. Monica quit because you ignored her. Work with the people who want to work. And just give assignments, not huge, crazy assignments. Maybe it's like, hey, Monica, can you take your products and your story for me? And as soon as you're done doing that, get back to me. She's like, I did it. What's my next thing? Awesome. Can you go live and discuss the opportunity? I know it's scary, but I think you can do it. And she's like, that's kind of a big one. I'll do a dual live with you. You want to do a dual live? Okay. She does dual live. Okay, what's my next assignment? Right? Work with the people who want to work. Too many of you are trying to drag people along with you when there are literally billions of people on the internet. And you're in one of the biggest network marketing companies in the entire world. You're open in so many countries, and you're really trying to tell me that you're going to work with somebody who doesn't want to be worked with. You cannot scale a business by dragging people. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody, no doubt about it, but there are enough people that entrepreneurship is for. So go find those people.
Okay, so that was it for today's video. But all I gotta say is I think all of that was just very, very yikes, especially when this is a training for other people in regard to other major network marketing companies. It's just very uncomfortable to me because we have very easily impressionable people. And again, I'm not judging on that, but what I'm saying is you have a responsibility when you have people that are listening to you. And when you're not using that responsibility and you're essentially talking down on people who are in a different class than you in regards to money, and you're trying to talk to them as if they are somebody who can risk it all, whatever the case may be, and spew BS into them, that is not okay at all, and it really pisses me off. So, okay, that was it for today's video. A little bit of a quicker one, but don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Stay glowing, my beautiful queens. Love you. Bye!